Aloha, I have a different kind of video for you today. So today I'm going to be showing one of our real estate deals, and this is actually a sales video. So this is not one of my regular motivation, inspiration, and all that kind of thing. This is actually a sales video. I'm selling my position in this deal. And so this is an assignment of contract for deed, and I am selling this commercial deal. It's really good. It's an assisted living facility in New Mexico. So let's get started and let's see the deal. Here it is. So I already have it under contract, so I'm letting out the address and the name and everything. This is Willow Manor. Willow Manor is in Deming, New Mexico, and it's a 47-bed assisted living facility. And so that's called an ALF, and that's a picture of it. Here's the recent appraisal. I got a recent appraisal done for $816,000 for the building only. And so that's only for the building. Any of you folks that are in the ALF or commercial real estate world, you'll know how to calculate out the income and the NOI, and we'll go through that in just a minute. But so that's the opinion of the value there is 816. And this was done just recently, a few months ago, 9/25/2021. And this is a professional fella that is a licensed appraiser there in New Mexico. So there's the address, 815 West Adobe Drive, Deming, New Mexico. And so let's get down here and start talking about some of the numbers. What was the purpose of this appraisal? To figure out the estimated market value. This is fee simple. There are no land rights being held on to by the sellers. The subject parcel is 1.3 acres, 26,628 square feet of land. Improvements are 13,794 square feet. So we got just shy of 14,000 square feet commercial building. Estimates of value. He didn't take the market or income approach, cost approach. He gave $816,000. This is cost of construction to replace that size of a building. Final estimate, $816. Property to be appraised. Here's some of the legal parts. It's section 34 of Township 23 South, Range 9 West. It's two multifamily dwelling lots, totaling 1.3 acres. Two buildings being 13,794 square feet in total. You'll see in just a little bit there is room to expand. Purpose of this appraisal, figure out the value. The interest to be appraised is that interest arising from fee simple ownership. And so I have a contract with the owners of Golden Acres. I don't know why they spelled it that way, but that's what it is in the court records. And it hasn't been sold in the past 36 months. And it's not actively on the market. So this is, like I said, it's a property we already have under contract. It's in escrow. And so we are selling the assignment of sale of the contract. Okay, so he's talking about how he got to the value, what the scope of the appraisal is, and this is all available for anybody who wants to come and get to it. This is some basic information about Deming in the area, city analysis. This is basically Wikipedia right here. It's not very detailed all that much. We're getting into the neighborhood analysis now. We're niching down. So the boundaries of this neighborhood are on the north, West Pine Street, on the south, West Florida Street, on the east, Columbus Road, on the west, Highway 418 Southwest. The accessibility is good off of South 8th Street for this property. The estimated percentage of buildup, only approximately 10% is vacant, which means 60% single family, 30% commercial, industrial use. Fairly basic and standard kind of distribution of the percentage of the buildup in the area. The neighborhood trend is considered average. It's what you might call a B plus type neighborhood. Nothing special, but nothing really bad. It's working folks, what they call a workforce housing type neighborhood. Public transportation, none. Police and fire protection considered adequate. The supply and demand in the area seems to be somewhat in balance. And comments, this neighborhood is located in West Deming. Okay, well that's, here's something interesting. I really like this. Subject property, this red right here. Right up here is the hospital. Right up there, and it's kind of a big hospital too. Go on down a little bit, you'll see the subject property. Here we are, 815 West Adobe, and you can see the building and it's technically the 2 buildings because it's got the little laundry building right there. But look, this parcel is also multifamily and not built on. Room for expansion. This current building is licensed for 45 occupants, 45 beds if you're familiar with ALF, 45 residents. And so it is licensed, and it is licensed for 45. So looking at the, looks like it could expand to another 15 probably. That's my personal analysis, not some professional consultant. That's just good old Alex Alexander, what his thoughts are. Description: this is an assisted living facility located at 815, that 6 is wrong, West Adobe Drive. The zoning is B, multifamily dwelling. Total 2021 taxes being $7,796. So you're going to pay around $8,000 a year in taxes. It is not identified as a flood hazard area, and it has asphalt roads. Let's see about the description of the improvements. It's got a concrete foundation. It's a wood frame, stucco. It's got the roof is metal, and now so we'll see in just a little bit. Needs to be some work done on the roof. Drywall, vinyl and carpet, aluminum windows. Probably could upgrade to some newer windows. About 35 years old is the building. Metal doors to the exterior. It's got an evaporate cooling system, so that's one of the things that's going to need to be worked on is the cooling system. Parking lot is concrete and asphalt. Number of buildings 2. Gross building area just under 14,000, like we said. There is no basement. It does have 1 kitchen, 1 dining room, 31 bedrooms, 1 lobby, 1 break room, 1 office, 4 common areas, 1 storage, 1 merch, and the quality of the construction is average. So this is all the rooms you're going to need for the running of an assisted living facility. Conditions of improvement, poor. Let's skip to the bottom real quick because he explains that. He says the condition was rated poor. This is based on deferred maintenance. The stucco needs repair of the roof leaks. The floor covering needs replacing. The interior and exterior needs repainting. The HVAC system needs to be updated. So I just did a little bit of back of the napkin math for myself. That comes out to just shy of about $300,000 for some of the basic stuff that he talked here for this size of a building. So to update all that and kind of do basic repairs to all of the things he named here, a little bit under $200,000 just from Alex's back of the napkin math, not from this fellow who did the appraisal. Here you can see the footprint of the buildings. And you can see that it's not in a flood zone, that's inner flood here. So back to what I was talking about, the hospital. This is an assisted living facility right here in the red. That's the location we're talking about, 815 West Adobe, Willow Manor. And right up the road, the Memorial Hospital. Okay, pretty neat to be right next to the hospital, having an assisted living facility. I think it'll be pretty easy to fill that place up. And here's some more pictures of the outside. You know, he mentioned that the stucco needed some work. Just looking at the pictures, you don't even see too much damage. You don't see very much, big issues at all. The landscaping is not that great, but it's not out of control. It's not just left to, it doesn't look like there's broken water pipes anywhere that are going to be leaking and causing, a lot of damage and that kind of thing. The story behind this, I'll go back and I'll tell you the story. Let me switch back over here so I'll tell you the story. So the story behind this facility, the fellow who's selling it, it's a classic mom and pop. We get this constantly. We get mom and pops who have been running whatever their business is, and they probably should have sold 5 or 7 or 8 or 10 years ago. And they loved it, and they loved the people that worked there. And so this facility in particular, the people that work there are getting paid a very, very high salary for the amount of for what the facility makes and what the facility is servicing. So the mom and pop loved the people who were working there so much. They were paying them very, very well. And they weren't demanding high KPIs, key performance indicators, such as residence, occupancy. They weren't trying to drive growth or any of that type of thing. And the owner was very comfortable with that. Like I said, he loved them. They had been with him for a very, very long time. And so there are no financials showing, you know, the financials. There aren't financials showing the income. It's been kind of deteriorating. And so the deferred maintenance that is happening is not extreme neglect. It is the fact that the folks who've been running it are also gaining in age. You know, possibly the next residents at this place. And of course, I'm joking around a little bit, but the reality is that it's not in terrible condition. It just hasn't been kept to an incredibly high level of maintenance, just because the folks that were working there were not really doing it that much. So let's switch back over. There we go. And that's the story of this place. The fellas, the folks that are selling it, their health is deteriorating quickly, and so they really don't have, they're really financially set otherwise, and they really just kind of want to wrap up this part of their portfolio. Hence the price is incredibly low, and hence I was able to lock it up in escrow and be offering an assignment at that contract. Here's the office, or I'm sorry, here's the kitchen. So you can see the kitchen there. Commercial sink, stainless steel. Here's the other side of the kitchen. Commercial hood. Got the stove and oven here. Commercial refrigerators. Let's see what we got next. Here's the rec room, they're calling it. And so as you can see, a little bit sparse. Looks like they've been on a real austerity style budget for a while. Here's a common area. You can see that the furniture could use a little bit of updating, and the decor as well. It's not in bad shape, it's just not really updated. Nothing is dirty and broken and torn and nasty. It's just older and not really updated all that well. Here's the typical room. Basic room you're gonna find in a assisted living facility. Typical bath. Once again, could use some updating. And here is the dining room. And so this is licensed for 45 residents, 45 rooms, or 45 beds. I'm sorry, not rooms, beds. And so they've only been housing about 16 currently. And so as the ability of the folks who are running it, I'm sort of guessing here. I don't know all of these details specifically. I'm sort of guessing a little bit just from looking at the taxes. I'm guessing the folks who have been running it have been gaining in age and have not been, like I said, growing the business. So as they go through, I guess you could call it attrition, some of the ALF folks the residents probably have passed on or moved on to somewhere else. And they haven't been getting new residents. So they're down to 16 out of 45 beds available, 16 residents currently. So the income's not that great. And hence the decor doesn't get updated. So when the income goes down, a lot of times the services don't keep pace with inflation, so to speak. Here's the office. Looks like they've been working hard in there, trying to keep the records and everything straight, doing it right there in the office. Here's a little break room. Looks like you got a big water heater back there, I'm gonna guess. And here's the outdoor patio. It looks like this could be upgraded to be really, really nice. It looks like this could have a cover, a nice covering built to have this outdoor patio. I'm guessing they have that outdoor patio because there are still, folks who smoke cigarettes and they gotta get out there and get their cigarette. Here's a laundry. I'm pretty certain this is the separate building, and it looks about the same size of the, if you look at the footprint, it looks like it would probably be about the size of this picture. So I'm gonna call that the laundry building. And here's the highest and best use discussion and analysis. He talks a little bit about what the legally permissible uses, physical possible uses, financially feasible uses, and the maximally productive use. And so he gives the definitions up there, and then he comes down here and tells you his opinion of the highest and best use for this site. And so as though it were vacant. So he's looking at the building as though it were vacant and it didn't have a business in it. So there is no analysis of the books and the financials. All of this entire appraisal is 100% just for the building and the land. So that's all that he's appraising here is the building and the land, $800,000. If you understand ALF, you know about the fees and the money and what it costs. We'll go through that in a minute. Legally permissible uses. He says it is Zone B, multifamily dwelling, multifamily district intended for a high density residential uses like it's used for now in ALF. Physically possible uses, it could be physical possible to use as different uses, financially feasible, multifamily, maximally productive, multifamily, as though improved, multifamily. So it's pretty obvious that it is the highest and best use already as an ALF, and so that's a good thing to keep it as that same asset class. Well, we call it asset class, they call it land use. Here's some of the comps. They really didn't have any comps of a 13,000 square foot commercial building in the area. It's a low density population area. There's not a huge density of population, so they don't have a ton of commercial buildings moving back and forth. So let's see. Here's some of the ones. These are just land sales. And they really don't show us too much to go through. This will be available for anybody to go through if they want on their own at a later date. Indicated land value, so he's showing how he came up with the land value at $125 per square foot. And he's rounding it to $71,000 for the land value. Very few comparable sales, thus the reason for supplying older sales. Necessary adjustments have been made to adjust the comparables to the subject. So there's the comps. Like I said, it really doesn't tell too much. This is a pretty good page to talk about. Here we go. This is how he came up with his 816,000. There's 13,074 square feet of building. He said at $75 per square foot. That's the $1,034,550. So there's the total value at replacement, what it would cost to replace it. Right now, $75 per square foot for cost to replace the building. So just replacement value of the building, $1,034,000. Site improvements, talking about the parking, the fencing, and the landscaping, another $45,000. So total estimated reproduction cost would be $1,079,550. Now he's saying that the depreciation comes in a little bit over $300,000. So we're pretty much in the same ballpark. I was saying just under $300,000. He's saying $334,661. And so yeah, he's calling it the 61% physical depreciation. So that's probably about right. That's what it's looking like it is for. So what we're trying to figure out is what it would probably cost to get this thing back up into a good position. And so I'm saying it'd be we're calling it 300,000. So he's saying the depreciated value, whenever you take out the depreciation, 744 plus the land value, 71,000 gives 815,889. He rounded it up to 816,000. So that's the indicated value by the cost approach. So we could take some of these numbers and we can figure out some other things. I got a little handy dandy calculator. Let's see what we can figure out. We have a value of $1,079,550 times, say somebody that's the ARV, the after repair value. We're calling that the after repair value. And so say we were to go out and try to get us a loan to repair it, and we wanted to get a 60% LTV, so times 0.6, get a 60%, $647,000 is the loan that could probably be gotten for this property. So you could probably get your $600,000 loan, spend your $300,000 to fix it up, put $300 in your pocket, and then turn around and sling it off yourself. Now, what are you going to sling it off for? Let's figure that out. What is the value of this property if it were running? Say somebody were to buy this off of me. I'm selling this for $600,000, by the way. Say you're going to buy this off of me. You're going to go ahead and rehab it, get it running as an get it ready for someone who runs assisted living facilities and sell it off to them. Pretty solid strategy. Let's figure out what you could sell it off for. So it's got a value, like we said, of the $1,079,550. That's the value. We already figured out the the ARV and all that kind of stuff, the LTV. So the LTV for the loan you could probably get is around $600,000. Put $300 in your pocket, put $300 back into fixing this up, you get it back up to $1,079,000. You want to sell it off. So in the area, assisted living facility residents pay around $2,500. It's in between $2,000 and $3,000. So we're going to call it $2,500. $2,500 times, well, let's do it this way instead. There's 45 beds there, times 0.85 gives us 85% occupancy, times 2,500. So it's giving us around $95,000 per month. Let's see, did I do it down too low? That seems too low. Hang on. 2,500, let's see, 45 beds times 0.85. Yep, I guess that's what it is. 2,500 equals the 95,000 times 12 months. 1.1. Let's give it a 5, times 5 years, so 5% cap rate. So 5.7 million. So say you're into this for the, I'm selling to you for 600,000. You go get you your loan, you put 300 in your pocket, you spend 300 on fixing it up, you get it worth $1,079,000, and you're going to turn around and tell everybody else that it has a value at a 5% cap rate at $5,737,000. So at that value, you're going to turn around and sell it off for, I don't know, say 80%, right? So say you can get about $4,500,000. Somebody else is going to be getting 20% off of a building, the value of the building. So anybody can get this thing fixed up, bought, rehabbed, running, and turn around and sell it for $4.5 million. So that's something that could be done with this building. Let's see what else the appraiser has to say. Some of his adjustment values, and this can be gone over in more detail in the future. And so he did this as an as-is condition. The value does not include any non-realty items not specifically mentioned in the body of this report. The value estimate is based on the assumption that the property is not negatively affected by the existence of hazardous substances and all that kind of stuff. Final reconciliation. Explanation of the adjustment factors can be found on page 32. And I think we've pretty much gone through most of the information. Statement of living conditions. Yeah, that was it. This is the main page. Here's the numbers. That was it. This is the numbers right there. So yeah, I think it's a really good deal. That's why we went ahead and locked it up on the contract. If anybody wants to get in touch with me about this deal, it's at integritylanddevelopment@gmail.com. My name is Alex Alexander, and I'm going to be signing off for the day. Aloha.